Hey YouTube, it's been a while since I've made content for YouTube specifically, and I kind of still haven't, to be honest. What you're about to see is a clip. I say a clip, it's still 40 minutes, and it's made specifically for my Patreon channel. I've had a Patreon channel for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and I've been making videos semi-consistently. There's a lot of hours of content there that's similar to the stuff I have on this YouTube channel. I've just been kind of putting it more intentionally to my Patreon audience. If you're interested in that and you like what you see here, there's a lot more content specifically about making comics and storytelling. You know, if you are interested, please follow the link below to be taken to my Patreon account. And if you're not, thank you so much for being here, for watching this, and I appreciate it. All right, I am going to add a little sound effect to this panel right here. This guy is slamming a door on this little guy, this little fella. And I am just going to, first part, I'm just going to block in kind of what I want the sound to be. I might even write some options here. What do I want it to be? Slam, slam. Thud. Wham, wham. Always with the exclamation mark. Thud. Thud doesn't seem to need an exclamation mark. Thud's more of like a quiet loud, if that makes sense. I think I am going to go with slam. This is one of the things about sound effects that I've grown to appreciate. It's actually doing two things, or it's doing something that I didn't think it was doing, if that makes sense. So previously, kind of before I was doing sound effects on my panels, I thought, well, that's kind of superfluous. I mean, if the action is clear, the reader can place in whatever sound effect they want. I thought it would be just a nice thing for, you know, people to imagine the sounds. But when I realize, you know, I don't. Sometimes the action isn't clear, and just to my just to how I drew the panel, I drew the sequence. It's not clear necessarily that this guy is slamming the door on this guy without any words. So for this instance, I think slam is the sound, but it's also the action. It's also what's happening, and that just, you know, gets people will understand that clearer. So I'm gonna go with slam. Hope that makes sense. Well, I'll just play around with the options, and I'm gonna block in. I'm gonna see if it kind of would be okay to go onto the other panel, and I am gonna take it off panel into the margin here, because we've got margin around it. This is just blocking. I'm just gonna see where it could go. I think that looked good, but I want to see if I can make it a little more. Maybe I need to make it a little more tighter. Slam, or play with the slam. Oops, went off there. Oh no, I've drawn on my page. So what I do as a visual artist, I don't, you know, again, I don't know if I would say if I'm a letterer, but I am lettering right now, so I guess I am. I just think about these things in relation to each other. So SALM exclamation is a, you know, those are the pieces of the image. It's like a person, you know, where the eyes, nose, mouth, they all can. Sorry, my dog's gonna probably bark a little bit more. Willow. Sorry about that. She has to protect me. She's gotta be on guard always. Doesn't have an off switch. Okay. So SALM, they can be combined in any number of visual combinations. I don't have the luxury of discovering all of those combinations, so I'm gonna kind of try a few and go with sort of the one I like. This one's a little bit more, you know, it's really interesting how you can combine things, and then you want to sort of see the options, but then you kind of want to go back, you kind of want to decide which one's working. So even just out of these two, this one reads slam, and this one reads, this is like a V. It's too far. And this is like, I don't know, trash. But if I were to kind of combine them tightly, it might look like a visual, interesting visual, but it wouldn't be a quick word. It would be sort of something that you as the reader have to decipher. And that's, you know, that's not the purpose of it that I wanted to convey. I wanted to convey just a quick kind of directional sound effect, or clarifying sound effect. So I'm going to go back to this one. It does the job. I like a little bit of overlap here. I like kind of how letters can jumble, you know, there's some play between them. But I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here. I'm going to stick with the basics. And another thing is that I personally, I guess, do is think about directional lines towards something. So, I mean, this is so, and kind of how the slam is affected. If that makes sense. So I kind of think of it as elemental. So the slam, the letters are kind of elements. It's kind of wind, you know, a lot of times, and it may work. It may work with this one. It may not. But this is what I mean. I'm going to kind of make these a little bigger, thicker, and I'm going to kind of make this sort of jagged. There's a term for this. I don't know it, but there is. this very jagged like line, and it's going to be emanating out, up, away from the character. And you know, that's very loud. It does the job. So I'm just gonna go, you know, tracing over it. I think you know, drawing that was not. I didn't get everything I wanted here when I did that. So I'm going to connect. I'm gonna connect some stuff. Connect these. Again, it may turn out, you know, not that good, but I've got to try it. just going to go over these letters. Kind of dial back the jagged edges. All right, still a little loosey-goosey, but much closer. I think I need these lines to fit a little closer in the M. The M to come down. Exclamation. Probably the exclamation needs to go a little further out. I think that'll work. I sharpen my pencil. Try it again. Alright, flip this one over. These are all the borders that kind of a cutoff of my pages. So I'm pretty frugal when it comes to saving materials. Probably a habit of, I don't know, just the Depression. Just kidding. Did not live through the Depression. I suppose I did, or that financial crisis or whatever. I guess I just always, yeah. Maybe it's from my dad. Not wanting to throw stuff away. All right. Boom. Slam. Slam. How's that look? I think so. That's passable, right? Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. So I'll probably shrink this. Looks like I need to shrink this. Some of it's going to go behind the character, which is fine. But yeah, it's going to be a process figuring out how I'll put that together. But that's what you need, just the file. I'll you know, for the sake of just showing you the whole thing, at least the traditional side of it, I'm gonna go. This isn't my final line. It's the one I'm happy with. It's the one I want to trace over again for the final. But I am not going to draw with a black wing because the size of the line is variable with these. I'm going to go with a mechanical and make it match the kind of the rest of the book. I'm going to get much tighter lines when I do this, which means more shape language. So here we go. I'll probably play with this a little bit. Smaller tip means you get a little bit more. You're able to fit a little bit more. I don't know. Just it kind of loosens me. It gives me. What am I trying to say? You know, because I don't have that thick line, it allows me to play with the edge of the, you know, this very kind of small point. So I'm able to do a little bit more, which sometimes that is a good thing. This is starting to feel like fire letters, but let's see where it goes. I think it'd be fine. again, it's like, what is interesting? What will just be visually pleasing? I think that's valid. That's very valid. Slam. Heck, I might even put a little bit of, just kind of emanating little flares off the side. Boom. There we go. I think that's that'll work for the slam. Happy about that. It may need to change once I put it in there, but that's what I got. So let's do another one real quick. Let's see. All right, let's do a pow. Where's my pow? All right. So here we have this connecting punch, and it looks like it hurts. Losing a tooth, which is sort of a, that's an exaggeration as well. Teeth don't normally pop out of your head when you get hit. I don't know. I mean, definitely does happen, but it is one of those cartoon language. This is cartoon language when you punch someone and teeth fly out of their head. And many times when I see a cartoon and there's a punch and someone loses teeth, that character doesn't, Bugs Bunny or Daffy, they don't always have a tooth lost. Even in that same cartoon, they'll have all of their teeth. So that's what I mean when it's sort of cartoon language. It's when they get punched and there's teeth flying and stars out of their head. The tooth is similar to stars and kind of birds flying around their head. It's exaggeration. It's shown to you to think, man, that was a hard hit. It's not realism. It's not realism. All right, let me see about this panel. Let me put down, a lot of times, this probably isn't new to anyone, but I don't want to kind of muck up my my page here, my drawn page. So I'm going to place a piece of printer paper on there so my hand oils don't smudge. Okay. So again, this could be pow, pow. Boom, smack. It could be kind of a wet sort of smack. Smack. What's something that we don't normally associate when we get punched in the face? Biff. Biff. Boof. Boof. I like biff. Biff. It's an older term, or a word I think. When it's connected to a clear action, I think to counter what we did with slam, this is a clear action. You're seeing the action, you're seeing the contact. And so the word doesn't have to, it doesn't have to explain much. It's more expressive, it's more additive and decorative than it is explanatory. Pow isn't, it's not like that's a sound that I think actually emanates from a contact between a fist and a jaw. So any of these could work. Smack is actually closer to probably what that sound would be. Let's try biff. 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 2 F's. I don't know if I like that. Well, let's do it. Let's do it. You're waiting on me. Biff, like pow, is 3 letters. Smack is a little bit more. I'm not sure. Let's do. I kind of typically want to like go this way, kind of circle around something. But I think for this instance, I'm gonna go in. So this is going to be B, I, F. F. Biff. I think that's going to be it. And what do I want it to feel like? Do I want it to feel like that slam? This is kind of the same thing I do all the time. I mean, I do these sort of feathering kind of quality to everything. So it's not that I have a large catalog of that. So I'm kind of thinking of different ways. Let's just kind of make it a little more blocky. I. Biff. B is not very angular. Let's see. All right, let's go over it again. Never fall in love with your first try. Oh, I guess I should say never. Sometimes it works out. I think I'm gonna try and make these bubble letters in a counterintuitive way, not necessarily. I might kind of imagine that these are teeth. I could do that in that sort of way. I'm not sure I don't like this, but I think of it as that kind of way. That's different. I don't know if I like it. Biff. What if they were teeth? That's fun. That is fun. Maybe they'll all kind of have that teeth feel. That's fun. That idea is fun enough for me to try it. Yes. I don't know if you can tell exactly what's happening in my brain, but the minute I think of something and I kind of speak about it, I think about it, and it sounds fun to me, I want to try it. I want to try it. I don't know if it will be successful, but I want to try it. So, you know, this is not exactly teeth, but I think people will be able to get it, especially when it's in connection with that tooth. A little overlap there. The crowns. Kind of that bone. This is sort of bone language. That's fun. I think I want to do that with connection of this is a tooth. I think people will understand that is what it is. I think it'll be pretty clear. And I'll even extrapolate the type of like kind of saliva, the spittle, or like kind of blood that spatters out there into that. All right, okay, let's take that over here. It's been blocked out well. Let's go over it. The final. Some jagged kind of enamel. You know, this is enamel. So, yeah, so take a look at all kinds of things like teeth, bones. You'll never know when your when you'll need pieces from your kind of visual library. So keep adding to, and even keep adding to your visual library. Bring that a little closer. I've been wanting to add kind of rock texture, rocks, geology to my visual library, because I don't really have a real great simplification of rocks and rock formations, or at least one that I'm satisfied with. So that's something that I'm going to need to do when I have time. Boom, biff. All right. Fair enough. All right. What the heck? Let's go into the computer and into Photoshop, and I'll show you how I put that in there. All right, I've got my PSD file open, my Photoshop file open for that page. Haven't colored or spotted any of the blacks yet. I've just got it sort of gray flatted. flatted in gray. This is the panel, and I've scanned in my BIF JPEG. I'm going to drop it in, just drop it in there, and turn off these layers. I'm going to pull up my levels layer. This is something that I do for all of my scanned pencil drawings that I scan and put in finalize for the line art. So this, for example, this looked like this pencil until I did the levels layer, but you've seen that before. So gonna combine that or merge those layers, and then I want to get oh whoops, all right, merge layers, and then I'm going to go to channels, select all channel, and inverse, turn that off, make a new layer, get my dropper, my paint gallon, and drop that in there. So this now I have my lines on a different just, you know, there's no white, because when I select the color, all the color channels, it selects everything but the white. So I'm going to clean these edges up a little bit before I do anything. Get in here. I'm pretty detail oriented, I think, and I'm not sure that's a good thing. It's just how I work. I kind of thrive off of the small stuff. I sweat it. I sweat that small stuff. All right. Kind of wanted this one to connect a little bit. And looking at this as I scan it in, I was like, I don't know. Like, BIF is such a different word. I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna make sense to some people when they're reading it, but we'll try it out for this exercise. All right, now I'm going to use my magic wand. I'm going to select everything outside of it, and then I'm going to inverse that selection. Kind of make a new layer, drop it in there, and now I've got this gray or dark gray text. Shrink it down. Shrink it way down, and put it under. Let's see. I'm gonna put it under that. Let's see where it falls. Continue to shrink it. I don't know if you can tell what that word is at all. To be honest, but again, it's pretty clear what's happening with the punch. So I might just step out in faith on this one. Jesus, take the wheel. I'm not sure. I like that. That's okay. I think the exclamation needs to come up a little bit more behind his head there. Oops, got the wrong one. BIF. That's gonna be cut off by the. It's gonna be cut off by the. What should we call it? The cut. guess I just need to shrink it way down. Maybe I don't want to go totally outside here. That'll work. Oh. Can't really tell those are F's, but that's okay. I think that's good. That's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Alright, so what I'm going to do is start erasing some of these lines. I'm going to make another layer just because, I don't know if it's going to work, so I don't want to redraw these lines. I'm just going to make another layer there. And there we have it. Biff. This isn't colored, so you're obviously not getting a final. What I could do is, so what I'm kind of mumbling about is the fact that these dark lines, this right here is feeling a lot like part of the image, which it is, but it's a sound effect, so it should be secondary. I'm trying to figure out the separation, how much separation I want between this and this. And in the color, that could be done a couple of ways. Just in the black and white, I think it might be done by erasing the lines here, which, you kind of miss some of that tooth detail. But that's okay. Or, well, we'll see. We'll see if it's okay. But we're going to try it. Gonna try it. Never be afraid to try. We got that kind of explosion out of the frame. Out of the panel, which is interesting. I'm not sure. I don't know. Kind of not sure about this. It's a fun idea. I liked it. I don't know if I spent enough time making sure this would fit in directly. Oh, sorry. 1 second. Let me put this on pause. Alright. Let me just answer it. Hey, Karen?
Can you send me your screenshot of that free Netflix that you said?
Yeah, 1 second. As you heard, my wife is picking up a Redbox movie. It's probably going to be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I've heard some good reviews about that. Okay. So this is what I mean about keeping that layer. So I want to try to make this a little bit, I don't know, just work better. I just want to work better. So when I say work better, I mean feel connected. So I like how this kind of hugs the fist here, and this kind of hugs his cheek. That to me is working better. That little and might move the tooth. That might be the thing that I move. But I like that. I like that. So, take two. Take two. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I think that works better. It's kind of exploding out of his face, kind of. It's a real beefy punch there. So I'm going to play around with the tooth location. I'm going to get the gray and the lines. Play around with that. I kind of wanted it. Should I make it big? Just make it giant tooth. That's too big. That's gonna work out fine. Does that even tell you move that anywhere? I don't know. I don't know if I did. Let's see. Right. All right. I think that's good for that one. Like that. All right. Oh, it's kind of bumping up there. I really don't like how that bumps. Oops. How this is connecting with the edge. So we pride ourselves on excellence here, so we're gonna keep tooling away. Just coming over, reversing. All right. Cool. I like it. Again, not too hot about that. All right. It's going to come above. And just going to erase that. Fill this back in. So many little things. So many little things. You wish it weren't. You wish it didn't. You wish like. You wish good things. You wish really excellent things didn't come at a price of time. I often wish that, but I suppose then everyone would be doing it. Why is that all pixelated? I'm not sure. That's kind of troubling. Whatever. Okay. Again, this is hugging the nose a little bit too much. I think I want it to connect in with the nose. Or not connect, but I want it to kind of counter that nose there. There we go. All right, nothing looks too wrong there. But yet I still can't say goodbye. All right, let's loop that in. Show a little space back there. Okay, all right, that's it. That's gonna do it for that page. And that's how you do it. I think I'm not gonna do slam. So I think I'm running out of things to talk about. I'm getting tired, but I hope that was helpful to you guys, or at least fun to listen to. yeah, thank you so much for being a contributing member on my Patreon, and this chapter is going to be done soon. So look forward to it, reading it, and I look forward to you reading it and leaving comments and just what you liked, and maybe even stuff you didn't like. I'm open to it all. But take care, and thanks for listening.